Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WillCast, the podcast with the most creative name in the world. Thank you for tuning in, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. I appreciate it as always. Today, I am really lucky and blessed to be joined by Hampton from Hybrid Calisthenics. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Will. How are you doing? I like the name of your podcast. My podcast, I had a vote for it, and Hampton Cast ranked high. So
yeah,
I like it.
It's super simple and it's easy to remember, right? Just your name and
Right.
then cast at the end.
Is it taken?
It is.
Was
It
WillCast
is.
taken?
A few people
Okay.
have taken him, but
What's the biggest WillCast right now?
I think there is one with a couple hundred subscribers, so nothing major.
Okay. Unless Will Smith starts it,
Yeah.
you're good. You can beat that.
Yeah.
You can beat that.
All right. Hampton, first of all, obviously, I want to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you taking your time to do this. I got to be honest, I have not been following you for as long as some of the other creators, but you're fairly new in this space, right?
A couple of years in, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years. 2 years.
Did you do YouTube before Hybrid Calisthenics?
Not really. I might have had a YouTube account because I'm 27, so I was there when it was released. I might have made one account back when I was 12 to post, but I never did regular YouTube content. No.
Okay, but you did do some kind of YouTube videos?
No.
Okay,
No,
not at all.
We're talking use a YouTube account because it was required for college, and
Okay.
they told us put a PowerPoint presentation on there. That's the only kind of YouTube content I did. I know nothing that I would consider YouTube content.
Okay, so where did this whole idea of starting a YouTube channel come from?
So before I did Hybrid Calisthenics, I was a relatively private person, and just a follow up to that, because I've been asked this before. I wouldn't call myself an introvert. I really wasn't on social media. My Facebook page had 300 friends,
Okay.
which is not a lot on Facebook. Even my quote unquote normal friends sometimes have a couple thousand.
Okay.
So I started doing videos on Facebook. And if we want to get into why I started Hybrid Calisthenics, I can get into that. But I started doing videos on Facebook, and eventually I was like, well, I want to do a longer video. And even early on, I was really thinking about the idea of amplification, because if you have the TV show Friends, do you want to air it just on TBS, or do you want to air it on CNN, Fox, everywhere? Because people watch different channels. So I was like, there's no downside to making a YouTube channel and putting myself on there. So yeah, it really was part of the process. I started on Facebook first, but honestly, I think I started my YouTube channel. I think I started it on New Year's Day of 2020, and
Okay.
that's that wasn't because of a resolution or anything. It just happened to be New Year's Day, and it was part of the process. It was part of how I started. Now, starting videos is a different discussion, but that's why I started a YouTube channel.
Okay. So, yeah, that's crazy. 2020, you gotta be one of the, if not the fastest growing fitness channel on YouTube. Maybe next to Jeff Cavalier, perhaps.
After you have a large channel, it is obviously easier to grow. Shout out to Jeff. He like him or dislike him, a lot of the controversy, I've been watching YouTube for a while. A lot of the controversy came after he got big. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because he get views.
Yeah.
But shout out to him, because he kind of paved the way for a lot of fitness people to do what we do. I might be one of the fastest growing YouTube fitness content creators. The highest engagement that I've noticed in the fitness industry by far is Noel Deyzel, and I know him. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
But he gets redonkulous engagement for fitness.
I've noticed that too.
So
That guy is going off. Jeez.
yeah, he's great.
Woo.
He's great. Try to get him on the podcast. And if you do, tell him I said hi.
Yeah, I would love to, man. Yeah, I've been following Noel for a minute too. Yeah, he's a really cool guy, and his content is super refreshing too.
Yeah. So I was, again, once you're big enough, people try to make videos just to get the controversy going so they can get views. And there was a comment on someone critiquing Noel for, oh, Noel does steroids. We're like, well, like he says he does it.
Yeah.
Okay, and one of the comments was, in the video, the guy had said, well, all his information is simple. All it took was a buff guy to say it. And one of the top comments was, it didn't take a buff guy to say it. It took a friendly, relatable guy to say it.
Yeah.
And he's tough. I mean, the guy's got muscle for days. It's out there. Everyone
he's
knows.
A big man.
You look at the guy and you know.
He's a big man. If do you have who do you talk to in the fitness industry?
I talk to as many people as I can regularly take on. I'm not in the industry to make enemies. This is, I'm gonna bring this up. This is the first time I've said this publicly, but it's true, and I think it's gonna resonate with a lot of people. There is an unspoken thing in the fitness industry. That's why there's so many like rivalries and like beef between channels and creators. A lot of fitness people in content creation, they want to be bullies. They want to be bullies, but because of societal stigma, they can't just openly bully, so they find different excuses to bully someone. Oh, this person lied. This person gave misinformation. Yes, yes, calling out misinformation, I'm not saying that's bad, but some people do it in a way that makes it seem like, okay, this guy just wanted to be a bully. He finally found a reason. It's just like, security or law enforcement sometimes. Yes, we can take down bad guys, but then you sometimes see someone tackle someone who stole a lollipop and just beat his face into the ground. It's like, okay, do you actually care about safety, or were you looking for an excuse to take out violence on someone? You just want to be a violent person. I think the fitness industry kind of, and has some bullies that just want an excuse to be bullies. I'm not really here to do that. I'm here to be friends with people. One of the first videos I made after I think I went over 1 million subscribers on YouTube was my message to other content creators, because I feel like it's a lot easier to criticize someone, a lot easier to criticize me, until you know how much I'm cheering for you. Like, because someone might be like, oh my gosh, Hampton's coming for me. His channel's outpacing mine. But I'm like, dude, I've been watching you for years. I love your stuff. Thank you for doing what you do, because it makes it possible for people like me to come up. So, I connect with as many people as possible. Like, whenever I see one pop up regularly, I don't try to force it. I could just DM everyone in the fitness industry tomorrow, but I don't want to do that. I try to regularly connect with people. Like, when their stuff starts popping up organically for me, if I like them, then there's a couple of people I don't like as much as others. That's in my opinion. They probably don't like me, and that's totally fine. And there's different reasons for that. But whenever I see one, I'm like, hey, how are you? I like your stuff. Thanks for doing what you do. Even if I don't agree with them entirely, sometimes I'll do that anyway, because I really do appreciate them. So I just try to be genuine with that, and I connect with as many people as possible while keeping it natural.
Yeah, I think that has to be part of the equation of why you became so successful, because you're a breath of fresh air in the fitness industry. Like,
thank you.
Really, you are so different from everybody else. Not everybody else, but so different from a lot of people in the fitness industry. And it's really nice to see. And that's something I really appreciate about you, your kindness. And I wanted to also dive a little bit into this mentality of, I just watched a video of yours where you talk about the concept and the mindset of giving without expecting anything in return.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's something I think everybody can work on, including myself. And that's can you dive a little bit into that concept? I mean, it sounds simple, but
right, no, yeah, Rich. Well, see, like, it's one of those things to where that's getting people to fully understand that concept and how much it can benefit their lives widely. Would benefit their lives a lot more than me teaching them about push-ups and pull-ups. Okay, but it just won't rank as well, so I can't make all my content about that. But no, it's super important. It's a super simple concept. I've considered writing an entire book about it over fitness. Being kind is not a weakness. Being kind is a superpower.
I agree.
Being actually kind is a superpower. Okay, and look, there are people who are not as nice as I am who are more successful. That's fine. There's different variables to that. But I hope to set an example for people that you can be nice. and I'm not perfect, but I try to be a kind person. You can be that and still thrive. And still really, really thrive.
As a matter of fact, sorry to cut you off, but as a matter of fact, I would think you would strive even better, right? Being kind?
Yes, absolutely. It's a superpower. Giving without expectation puts you in a place to do more, connect more, and be more. Okay, when you give to someone without expectation, this is like, because some people are hearing this for the first time. So I want to say that this. This is a good day because we're doing this on a Wednesday. On a Wednesday, I'm routinely in a great mood. Hump day, but a lot of people don't like it. Routinely, I'm in a great mood, and when I walk through the world, I see like this cashier, my friend that I see on the way to work, or like when I'm getting coffee and I see all the baristas that I know because I drink a fair amount of coffee. I want them to do well. I see them as beautiful. Okay, so it's very easy for me when they say, "Oh yeah, I'm having trouble growing a YouTube channel." I'm like, "Hey, let me help you with that." Okay, I could charge people a lot of money for doing like YouTube consultations because just on the street cred, whether you call it like luck or not, of having a multi-million subscriber YouTube channel, I could charge people for consultations. I want to do it for free. Okay, well, especially if you happen to talk with me, it's like, here, I'll answer all your questions. Or sometimes with a friend, it's like, hey, man, I broke my arm, but I need to move. Let me help you with that. I run low on time very easily, but whenever possible, I try to help people. Okay, and doing that, this isn't even why I do it. Doing that puts me in such a good mood to want to help others. Some people, the most common answer back to that is, Hampton, I do that all the time. I give to people, but they take advantage of me. Are you actually giving without expectation? Okay, because when I'm helping that person with their YouTube channel, I'm not doing it so they give me a shout out when they have 1 million followers. I'm doing it because I want them to grow, because I want them to do well. Okay, I don't really care what I get back in return.
Yeah, it sounds so simple, but it's hard. It's really hard, especially in this day and age we live in, where I feel like, especially with social media, I feel like it's hard to give without expecting something in return. At least I'll fully admit I have a hard time with it.
Okay, give me an example of that. Let's go into that a little bit. Give me an example of something where you consider yourself having a hard time with that.
For example, like you said, helping someone move. In a way, in the back of my mind, I wouldn't say I do that 100% because I expect them then to help me move when it's my time to move. But there's still something in the back of my mind that, for some reason, tells me that you should do this, because what if you don't? Then they won't help you move. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, again, a lot of this is the mindset that goes behind it, in
Absolutely,
my opinion.
Yeah.
And that is like, when you get to that place where you are so happy and lucky and you feel blessed to be alive and be able to do what you do. I'm hearing myself, and I know people hearing this for the first time, if they don't know me, it's gonna be like, this guy's full of crap. Okay, but that's really what it is. I don't know how to convince you right now, but that's what it is. I feel lucky to be alive and be able to do what I do. I feel so incredibly blessed that I feel like my cup is overflowing, and I want to help others.
But oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me finish this thought.
Yeah.
However, you can't pour from an empty cup, or you, like if I need this cup, I may not want to pour it for someone else because I might need it. So I try to help in ways that I can. To your point, you're a content creator. You know this. It's very easy to run low on time because we're so busy. The grind is real, man. The grind is real. Okay, I can't always go help someone. Sorry. Like I mentioned to Will before this, I am a little bit hoarse. I was sick, getting off a sickness. I feel better, but I get hoarse a little bit more easily when I talk. You may not have an hour, and you don't want to do anything that gives more than what feels light, free, and easy. Okay, giving someone advice on YouTube channel for 60 seconds might really help them. It's going to help them a lot more than if they take the advice. Than if I help them move. It's going to help them way more. That 60 seconds can make them 100K. I'm not even kidding. You know this. You can do this for someone. But it's very easy for me. I don't always have an hour. If I can't do it, if I know that I would feel resentful for doing it, I don't do it. I keep it light, free, and easy. It feels fun. It's fun.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I definitely, I'm inspired. I really am. I'm really inspired by you. Truly.
Well, thank you so much.
This is gonna be completely off topic, but again, I want to move a little bit back to calisthenics because I'm always fascinated how I love to hear the different stories of how people start calisthenics and what inspired them to begin. So how did you start?
Well, I was always a very active person. I was one of those babies where you was like, back when I was a baby, if you sat me down and changed my diaper or something, I'd just crawl away.
Okay.
I wanted to move. I wanted to move. I like that. So I was always really into that. I just never, and as people grew, there was this idea of fitness, and that was always associated with the gym. I just never really felt it the way some people do. And it might be because I didn't idolize bodybuilders the way some people do. Full respect to bodybuilders. I have plenty of bodybuilder friends, but I didn't idolize them the way that some people do. So maybe that's why I wasn't as drawn to the gym. When I was growing up, I really, I was more into martial arts, and martial arts has a heavy calisthenics background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, martial arts and even sports like wrestling. I wrestled a bit when I was during high school age. And then, you talk to wrestlers and they really do train a lot with calisthenics. So I think really that is why I was drawn towards calisthenics and bodyweight exercise. And really towards my late teens, I was like, okay, I'm going to start regularly doing push-ups. In my early 20s, I was like, well, I probably need a balanced routine where I just don't do push-ups. So I read a book called Convict Conditioning, where like it or hate it, it's from a prisoner's perspective. And that the whole point of reading that was to get a somewhat balanced routine. But the author, Paul Wade, whom I've emailed with, because some people will call him fake, but I've shared emails with, he really inspired me. He's like, he convinced me on the power of calisthenics and how you can use it to change yourself and help others. So I was like, I like this. I'm going to stick with it. It wasn't as big a passion as it is now, but it really ignited that for me. So I like that. Quick thing, just to touch upon the thing we talked about giving without expectation before.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, content creators, will attribute that to Gary Vaynerchuk. He probably is best known for saying that. But even he will say that he didn't come up with it. I don't know who did. It might be in the Bible. It might be written on a cave wall somewhere. Love Gary, but just wanted to mention that so people don't say, well, you stole this from so-and-so, because I try to be aware of that.
No, yeah. It's a great concept. What does your workout routine look like now?
So if you had asked me a couple months ago, I could have very easily told you Mondays, I do push-ups and leg raises. Wednesdays, I do pull-ups and squats. And Fridays, I do handstand push-ups and bridges.
Okay.
And then associated exercises with that. So the kip up, I would do on Friday because it's like an explosive bridge, basically. Clapping push-ups and Superman push-ups. Any kind of like explosive push-up, I would do on push-up day. Muscle-ups, I would do on pull-up day. And isometrics, I would add into that. Really, right now, I alternate like regular staple calisthenics, like one-arm push-ups, one-arm pull-ups, with isometrics. I have a bar and chain device, which you can see on my channel. If you look up bar and chain device, it's a lot easier to see what I mean other than me describing it. But it's a way I can practice isometrics, which can put more force through my body than I can with weights, by definition.
Okay.
By definition. Okay. And if anyone questions that, look up the force-velocity relationship. In order for maximum contraction to occur, maximum voluntary contraction, you actually need to stop. If you're moving, you can put more force. Sorry. And it makes sense because you can always hold more weight than you can lift.
True.
Right? If you can just barely hold 150 pounds, you're not going to be able to curl it. So that's the summary of that.
Okay. Interesting. And how did you decide to want to teach calisthenics then?
Great question. And I know this isn't a super long podcast, so I'll try to summarize it.
Okay.
Because I can be long-winded sometimes, and I do apologize for that. You can cut some parts of this out.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
This is interesting because most people will look at me and say, well, he's not doing this for money. And you can see that my fitness course, my fitness routine, which is one of the big things that a fitness content creator can sell, is for free.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to keep knowledge free. But I actually did start it for money. Because like the whole idea was that someone introduced me to the idea of niche sites, a niche blog. Basically, if you Google something that's obscure, like so-and-so model dirt bike, clicking sound on left side, and then son of a gun, someone wrote an article about that. You're like, who writes these articles? That's a niche site. Okay, and then the idea is so like they write these articles, so you click on them, and sorry, there was you click on them, and as a result, they get some ad revenue from that. And then they write a bunch of articles, they get a bunch of ad revenue. And I was like, it'd be cool to have some passive income doing this. I was like, I'm going to do it on a hobby. What should it be? It could be concealed carry, because I live in Arkansas, concealed carry or calisthenics. I'm like, maybe calisthenics. You know, I decided on that. That's when I thought of the name, Hybrid Calisthenics. And it started as a niche blog. And I was like 3 articles in when my mom got sick, and that halted everything in my life so I could take care of her. And eventually, I forget how it came to be, but I watched a lot of videos at the time, and it kind of inspired me. Like, why don't I do videos about this instead? And at that point, it really wasn't the same concept as a blog, but I think the idea was I can make content. I can make content so I could eventually sell an ebook or something. But as soon as I got my first comment from a stranger who wasn't my friend, we found on Hybrid Calisthenics, and he said, Hampton, thank you for saying this. You helped my mindset so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, as soon as I got that first person, back then I had like 20 people who regularly followed me, 20 people, but I got that first comment, it changed my entire perspective. I was like, oh my gosh. It's not even that big. It's one comment, but I was like, I feel responsible for them. It's like, this is my child now.
Yeah.
This is my child. The guy was like, he's 60 something. He's like way older, but I'm like, this is my child. I had to take care of them. Okay. And I can't just make content and then sell them nonsense. Do I want to sell them anything at all? Because would I sell something to my children? No, because I felt very protective of this community. So I was like, that really, it started off as a way to make some side money, like just some side income passively. But as soon as I started doing it and I started getting some success and I felt that community feedback, 180, to the point to where I didn't even sell something for months and months and months. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that. I know not everyone can. I wasn't rich, but I was just able to do that at the time. And then eventually, thankfully, now I can make a living doing it. And that's really where I've been so far.
That's so fascinating that a single comment can impact a person's life so much, right?
Well, I mean, it didn't like blow my mind, but as soon as it's like, you can learn to swim on YouTube in your apartment in the middle of downtown, nowhere near water. But when you're put into water, you're like, okay, this is different.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how it is. You don't know how you're going to react. It's very easy to say, oh yeah, by the way, none of it was trying to scam people. It was going to be a good product. It's like make content and then sell them something, because they trust you. I'm like, okay, cool. But as soon as it became like, Hampton, my mom was sick too. I was really looking for some exercises. I didn't know that you could scale down push-ups and squats. Is there anything else I can do? I'm like, heck yeah, there is. Let me help you with that. So this is, as soon as you feel it, it's different.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you should be kind and give without expecting anything in return. I love it. I love the message. I'm inspired by you, man. And I really appreciate you taking your time to come on this podcast. I really appreciate that.
Oh, hey, thanks so much for having me, man. I'm very happy to talk with you.
I guess it's kind of what word am I looking for? It's kind of counterintuitive from what we have talked about so far, giving without expecting anything in return. But do you want to plug anything?
No. Well, I mean, to your point, and this is what I'll plug. I'll plug this message. It's not counterintuitive. It's not contradictory. Because it's fun to ask. It's fun to ask, right? I give a lot, and every once in a while, I don't know if I do this. I'll be like, hey, I have this shirt that says Hybrid Calisthenics on it. If you want it, I'd appreciate it if you bought it. It would support the brand. I don't mind asking. I don't mind asking. I'm just not crushed. I'm not crushed if people say no. Okay. I can't throw a tantrum if like, well, only 5 people buy my shirt and I give so much to you. I spend hundreds of hours and I do. That's all true. But I'm not crushed if they don't, because they're just like, it was their choice. It was their choice. You know, I don't get to take their choice away just because I helped them, even if they asked for my help, especially if they didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. No, I mean, look, if I'm going to plug anything, this is what I always say. I love all my subscribers and my followers, and if you like my stuff, go ahead and follow it. You can find me anywhere on social media as Hybrid Calisthenics. But if it's a choice between that and making an active decision today to start your fitness journey, which can be as simple as going on YouTube and looking up how to start a fitness program, or how to find a fitness program, or just Googling that, or anything else you want to do, fitness, starting your own business, you know, texting that girl that you like, okay, start that today, because I love my community, but I have enough followers that I can serve them for the rest of my life. I don't really need more. So if it's a choice between following me and doing that, definitely do that.
I love it. Love it, man. Once again, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
It's been an honor.
Thank you for having me.
And to the listeners, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. See you next time. Peace.